Welcome to Beyond Reality, where we talk about clinician journey and breakthroughs in virtual reality rehabilitation. I'm Brianna Hodge, the lead marketing specialist at Neuro Rehab VR. Joining me today is Lyra Thorne, a clinician here at Neuro Rehab VR.
Hi, everyone. Today we're asking a big question. Can virtual reality truly revolutionize rehabilitation? We'll be exploring its benefits, how it personalizes therapy, and looking at some incredible patient success stories.
VR is such an exciting field, especially in healthcare, and it's gaining a lot of momentum. So let's start with the big picture, Lyra. How would you describe the rise of virtual reality in rehabilitation?
Well, VR has come a long way, especially in the last few years. It's really changing the way we think about physical and cognitive therapy. Traditional rehab can sometimes feel repetitive for patients, but VR has brought a new level of engagement and motivation. Patients actually feel like they're part of an experience, whether that's walking through a park or climbing stairs in a virtual world. And the great thing, it's all done in a safe, controlled environment.
That is so true. And it makes a lot of sense. Patients are more likely to stick with therapy when it's interactive and enjoyable. But one thing that stands out to me is how personalized VR can be. Can you explain how that works?
Of course, one of VR's biggest strengths is its ability to customize therapy for each patient. Every rehab journey is different, and with VR, therapists can tailor programs specifically to target a patient's unique challenges, whether it's improving balance, motor function, or cognitive skills. It's not a one size fits all approach like we often see in traditional therapy.
So it's like giving each patient their own personal roadmap to recovery?
Exactly. And that personalization leads to more effective interventions. VR adapts to the needs of each individual, which makes therapy sessions more engaging, and that boosts the likelihood of faster progress.
So we've talked about how VR can personalize rehab, but let's dive into some success stories. Who are the patients that benefit the most from virtual reality based therapy?
There's a wide range of patients seeing improvements, from stroke survivors to those recovering from spinal cord injuries, traumatic brain injuries, even amputations. For instance, stroke survivors have used VR to regain motor function through upper limb exercises, and they've shown significant progress. And patients with spinal cord injuries have been able to practice balance and coordination in a safe environment.
It sounds like the technology is not just helping patients physically, but also emotionally. How does VR impact things like mental health during the recovery process?
Recovery is tough on both the body and mind, and VR can address both. For traumatic brain injury patients, VR has been used to improve cognitive function, but it's also helping with emotional well being by reducing anxiety and depression. Imagine the confidence boost a patient gets from virtually practicing walking or regaining control over their movements without the fear of falling.
That would be amazing, and I imagine that sense of achievement is a big motivator for the patient to keep on going.
It really is. When patients can see and feel their progress in real time, it encourages them to push forward, which leads to better outcomes overall.
Looking ahead, how do you see VR evolving in the field of rehabilitation? What kind of new advancements are on the horizon?
The future of VR in rehab is incredibly exciting. We're already seeing new technologies like haptic feedback, motion sensors, and biofeedback being integrated into these platforms. Haptic feedback, for example, allows patients to feel sensations, like texture or pressure, making the virtual experience even more immersive. As these advancements continue, rehab is only going to become more interactive and effective.
That sounds like a game changer. With all these innovations, do you think VR could become a standard in rehabilitation in the near future?
I do. We're already seeing it become more common, and as research continues to show the benefits, it's only a matter of time before VR becomes a standard tool in rehab facilities across the board. It's a matter of improving access and ensuring that healthcare providers are trained to use it effectively.
Speaking of research, I know there have been some studies that really back up the benefits of VR in rehabilitation. Can you tell us about a couple of those?
Of course, one study that stands out was published in the Journal of Rehabilitation Medicine. The researchers found that patients using VR interventions saw better improvements in motor function and physical abilities compared to those who only did traditional therapy. And as we've discussed, patients were more engaged, which led to better adherence to their rehab programs.
That's impressive. Was there another study that focused specifically on stroke patients?
Yes, there was a great study in neurorehabilitation and neural repair. It showed that stroke patients who used VR to work on motor function and balance had better outcomes than those who only used traditional therapy. The immersive multisensory experience made a big difference.
It's clear that VR is not just a trend, it's a powerful tool for improving patient outcomes. So, the original question was, can virtual reality revolutionize rehabilitation? It sounds like we're already seeing the answer in action.
Absolutely. VR is opening up new possibilities for personalized, effective, and engaging therapy. It's not just about making rehab more enjoyable. It's about getting better, faster results, and giving patients a sense of control over their recovery.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the future of rehabilitation looks bright, thanks to VR. Lyra, thanks for breaking all this down for us today.
My pleasure, Brianna. It's such an exciting time for healthcare, and I'm looking forward to seeing how VR continues to evolve in the years to come.
That's it for today's episode of Beyond Reality. If you're interested in learning more about how VR is changing healthcare, be sure to subscribe and tune in for future episodes.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.